It would help if I added myself to the stage so you could see me. Pretty sure my audio's good. At least my microphone's telling me it is. Oh, we got a whole 9 people in the chat. Plus me, that's 10. That's all we need. Awesome. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine, you've been busy. Jonathan Rogers. I think Megan was the first one here, or one of the first. All right. You guys know I've been real busy with Archaics Underground. Going through the chat, seeing if people's problems are actually legitimate, investigating. Checking out a few absolutely ridiculous Galactic Federation posts. Yeah, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Why would you even put that in my group? That person was goading me. Man. Yeah, let's see here. I like my shirt. Wanted. I got that. I bought that in Roswell. I've been to Roswell twice. I traveled to California, stopping in Roswell, and then on the way back on another trip, I decided to come back through Roswell. Yeah, underground has been a little confusing for some people. I get it, but it showed me when I was going through all the service features, it showed me that there was multiple ways to subscribe. Stripe is the main one, but it had other apps. It listed like four other apps that you could pay with. I don't know if I have to activate those or what, but my Stripe account is attached to it. There are people internationally that cannot use Stripe or PayPal. So I think we're going to do the same thing we did with Archaics TV. With Archaics TV, we set up an Archaics fund, and we went by whatever we went by what the rate of exchange was, because we don't feel it's equitable for someone in New Zealand or Australia have to pay something exorbitant when people in the United States are paying something small like $5.52. So we use the little rate of exchange calculator to whatever $5.52 would be overseas for different people, and we just had them send that to us in the mail, and for like 6 months, or a lot of people didn't even send the full amount. We didn't care. We just let them in Archaics TV anyway. Gave a bunch of free ones away just for people having problems with payment overseas. We just give away free stuff all the time. You guys would not believe, my own team gets on my ass sometimes, because me, to solve any issue, to solve any problem, to solve anything, I always just, just give it to them free. That's how I solve all my problems. So anyway, we'll probably take Jasmine, Jonathan. We'll probably be putting a list together of people who are going to need that, to where they can make one little payment off to the side to like a Archaic slush fund, however they can pay, whatever, and we'll just use that money to pay the platform, because membership's got nothing to do with me. Membership has to be paid for to that platform. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, it's already taken off. There's already other. I hate the word truther. God, it's almost like patriot. It's become a word that doesn't mean what it initially was meant to convey. But still, for want of a better description, well, I'm already being contacted by other truthers and stuff that want to know more about the platform, because it's very new. Who else is doing this? Gaia doesn't even do anything like this. This is a platform. It's totally interactive with all kinds of things. It's not, It's not a website that you go to and get spammed to death. I'm not selling you a single damn thing in Archaics Underground. Nothing. So, and I opted against the Cypher page in Underground. There's already too much to do in Underground, and I stopped. Believe me, I could continue the Cypher subscriptions because it's lucrative to me, and it helped me pay all my employees. It helped me pay for a whole lot of things that needed to be done in my life. But you know what? I stopped it on the 1st of August because we don't need to keep trying to catch people up. We got some serious things to do with the NFL predictions and stuff. Remember the end goal. The end goal is to have an app that is absolutely amazing. And we can't move forward if we're always trying to pull people and catch them up to us. Just can't do it. Lewis Norris. Well, you go right to the heart of the issue, don't you? What do you think about Mark Passio? Okay, to me, Mark Passio is a product of his times. And what I mean is the vast majority of individuals out there, whether they consider themselves awakened or not, or truthers, they were educated in the uniformitarian model, and they still believe in that model, and they still believe in many things that they were educated. And he has formulated his natural laws around what he believes to be a natural world. And I'm cool with that. I get that. That's why I was very understanding, and that's why you didn't hear any points of contention from me, because that's not why I invite people on my channel. You'll know it when I'm trying to be adversarial. You'll know it. You'll know it before the video even starts, because I would never set someone up and invite them to my channel under false pretenses and then turn around and unleash on them and embarrass them publicly because they weren't prepared for the level of information that I was going to bring to the table. I wouldn't do that to anybody. If I'm going to go enter a debate atmosphere or anything like that, it's going to be well known. The entire public, I'm going to tell the public, I'm coming with all guns loaded. I says, I am not going to be easy on you. I don't care who it is I debate. So I'm going to give them full warning. I said, listen, man, I hope you're coming to the table fully armed with all the information that you possess, because I am. And I'm not going to let you make it. This is you asked for a debate. You're going to get it. So, but when I invite people to my channel, that's not what we're doing. I'm trying to get him to convey what value does he believe he brings to the table. What has he been doing for all these years, and in what direction you're going? And with Mark Passio, it was very obvious to me that he's been struggling for the past year, maybe 2 years. He's been going through some internal dialogue. He almost had an emotional meltdown in the middle of the video when he realized that people were really responding to him, because he was following the chat too. But apparently, he's had his dark night of the soul where he almost gave up his platform, deleted his channel, just said F it. And it seems that coming on Archaics gave him some new impetus. And I think that's a good thing. So I don't know. I mean, I don't even know who Andrew Wilson is. Lewis Norris. He's not even on my radar. You'd have to educate me who he is. Several people have said they'd love to see me debate different people, and then when I look them up, I find out, why would I debate this individual? We almost believe the exact same thing. I don't know who Andrew Wilson is. You have to give me some context. Does he believe Jesus was real? Was literal history instead of literal? That's one of my debate topics. That's one thing I'm willing to debate. I'm not willing to debate opinions. Yeah, anything on the table on We Immortals, like Soul Trap and all that. No, you can't debate it. You can't debate anything. But when it comes to absolute, data sets, for which I have many, yeah. Somebody wants to debate the Phoenix phenomenon, that there is a mathematical structuring to history, I'm willing to debate that. And yeah, somebody wants to debate the Christian deal, I'm absolutely willing to debate that. And you can set that up, Lewis. If you're saying that, yeah, he's a Christian conservative, set it up. Tell that man that Archaic says that Jason of Archaic says that there isn't anyone out there that's going to be able to convince him, not with all the data that he has. He will bring it to the table. I don't need any notes. I'll pull it all out of my head. So there is Christian conservative, I mean, any Christian, not just a conservative, but any Christian is going to have to get me to suspend my disbelief to even entertain their evidence, because there is none. There is none. As a matter of fact, you just inspired me. You know what? I think tomorrow's video, I'm going to use one of the most sophisticated AI chats there is, Not Diamond, and I'm going to do it live. I don't need to be prepared. I don't need to see none of his debates. I don't need Lewis Norris. Listen, man, I possess the information in my head. I know it is the absolute truth. I do not care. I do not care how many weapons loaded this man comes with. There's just no way to get around the truth. You can easily tell if something is false and if something is true. And you just listen to the dialogue. I don't care what the man believes or what evidence he wants to bring to the table. I do not care. Do not care. I have incisive questions that can only be answered in negatives. Unless a man's just going to bald-faced lie, and if he does, I'll just do another video showing the public that here's where he lied, here's where he lied, here's where he lied, here's where he lied. Because in debates, to save face in real time, people that are losing a debate will lie. They will lie. They'll just throw shit out. They'll make up stuff, and you know what? It's really easy to bust those people. So anyway, let's see. I was saying something. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, you just inspired me. Tomorrow, live on YouTube, it's nothing for me. I'll just share my screen so you can see. In real time, I will ask Not Diamond AI, which is one of the most sophisticated. It's not like ChatGPT-4. It's not like OpenAI. It's not like Grok. Not Diamond is a very interesting AI server type deal, because it doesn't harvest the information off the internet. Not Diamond asks all the other AIs like ChatGPT-4, like OpenAI, like Gemini, Grok, or whatever, all the different AIs. Not Diamond is designed to only ask the other AIs what you just asked, to search for your answer in what you just asked. It'll ask all those AIs, and it'll come back and offer you the answer. I tell you what, tomorrow live on YouTube, we're going to talk live with Not Diamond about the evidence. Was there really a Jesus according to the gospel? That's what we're going to do. You just inspired that, Mr. Norris. That's what we're going to do. That's tomorrow's YouTube video. Thank you. Because I was actually thinking about doing an Ancient Alien smash. That's why I was wearing this shirt. Thinking about, you know what? It's been a while since I smashed on them Ancient Aliens, boys. So it's been a while. I got some new bullets in my gun for them too. So, but you know what? That can wait. I like this better. We're going to ask Not Diamond about the whole gospel Christian story and what's verifiable in the historical record and what's not. That's what we're going to do. I'm down with it. Yeah, the Colburn Bible video, man, it needed to be done. You guys, listen, I know some of you know this. Some of you already know. The Colburn Bible video wasn't novel. Every bit of that had already been presented a long time, 5 years ago. I have about 80-something videos that are just like the Colburn Bible that are packed with innovative, amazing information, like the Oral End video I did, the Mother Shipton video I did. I've got a lot of them, a lot of good videos that nobody remembers anymore because I montaged them. And when I montaged them, I took off the intros and outros and put them all together in one long videos, and nobody watches them. I got them in a montage playlist, and all those videos are 2.5, 3 hours long, and nobody's really watching them. I know because I can look at my analytics on YouTube. Nobody goes back and watches these old videos. So, when I pulled the Colburn transcript out, I tweaked it a little bit, added some more detail, and you know what? It came out as a badass live video. But I'm going to do that with all 80-something of my original videos that were just data dumps. So you're going to have a lot of good videos coming, and they're going to be almost new to everybody because nobody remembers what I did 5 years ago. Not only that, but absolute terrible audio quality. I was doing a bunch of them in a trailer, sometimes in a wooden shack. You could hear chickens and pigs and cows and tractors and traffic. Yeah, it's those videos were awful. So people don't go back and listen to them. So that's what I'm going to do. My publisher sent me an email. So Chronicon 1 is on the press right now. I think it's 4,000 copies is the first print run. He's going to mail me 300 copies for my Shopify site, and I'm going to sign each one of them, and I'll sell them straight off of YouTube and my website. Yeah, but yeah, you got to check that out, Michael Masek. Not Diamond. Not Diamond is awesome. It's awesome. Remember, I did a video a couple years ago, which in my video, my output may be different. It might be different now. But 2 years ago, I demonstrated for YouTube Live that ChatGPT 4 was inventing answers that it thought I wanted to hear. And yeah, it's crazy. So somebody else told me about Not Diamond, and they told me, he says, "Hey man, listen." They told me, "Hey, I watched your video where ChatGPT 4 got caught because you cross-reference the bibliographic references on Phoenix data that ChatGPT 4 gave you, and you cross-reference them with the JSTOR website. I have a membership to JSTOR. JSTOR is an academic website. All these academics out there that have published their peer-reviewed findings, they have extensive bibliographies, and you can check them on the JSTOR website. So I looked on the JSTOR website. I'm like, man, these authors and these researchers and scientists exist, but they never wrote any of these things ChatGPT is saying they wrote. Yeah, man, it's crazy. So I saw what ChatGPT did, because one of the professors that was an author of a book that ChatGPT just invented, he really was an author. He really did have peer review findings, but he was from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not researching Phoenix, Arizona. I was researching details about when was the word Phoenix found in the historical record in ancient Greek texts. And ChatGPT 4 it searched everything and just put it together. Oh, they found a professor from Phoenix and made up a book and made up page numbers, citations, second cop, made all this shit up. Yeah, it's crazy. So somebody had watched that video and told me, Jason, there's a much better tool out there. It's called Not Diamond. You need to check it out. So I played with it. I played with Not Diamond, and then I went ahead and paid for like a deluxe package. It's that's the only one I use now. Not Diamond's the only one I use. So that's what it is, Lady M. An AI aggregator. That's what it is. Real quick, somebody said, where can you find it? Not Diamond. I'm going to show it tomorrow. You just inspired me. That's tomorrow's. I don't even have to prepare for that one. I don't even have to prepare for that one. We can go straight into, I can, right there on the screen, you can see exactly what my prompt is going to be. And I'm going to instruct Not Diamond to answer in one-liners. Yes or a no, and only if necessary, provide one line. Because if you let AI go off, they'll send you 3 pages of meaningless data. So, because if something is true or not, you should be able to answer yes or no. Let me look at Not Diamond real quick to see what this HTTP is. See what it is. Because mine's an app that I downloaded the thing to my computer, so I don't even see at the top of the screen. I don't even see anything. It just opened straight up into this app. So let me. Wow, there's no way. Oh, copy link. Okay, so I copied the link. I just copied the link. I'm gonna give you guys the link right here in the chat. I'm just gonna give it to you in the chat. There it is. HTTPS chatnotdiamond.ai. Pretty simple link. It's really good. I don't know why it's called Not Diamond. That's crazy. Yeah, isn't that something, Jasmine? Yeah, doctors get mad that you would consult with Google as a cross reference because it's your health, but now they're all relying on Dr. AI. You're absolutely correct. It's terrible. It's gotten bad. It's gotten bad. I have very very little respect for the medical profession now. I'm gonna share my screen to show you two things. I didn't post these. I'm still thinking about posting them. These are on my desktop. Let me share my screen. I was gonna post this, and I was gonna put some words on there like a meme. Well, you know, I haven't figured out what I'm gonna put on there, but I want something that blends in the idea of the Christian Reich, and that the Christian Reich is also an extension or married to the pharmaceutical industry, because it really is. It's all part of the control apparatus. So here is a good. What's the difference? What's the difference between forcing a human into a guillotine in a medical environment that's all sterilized and sanitized, and they're all wearing their little nurse outfits and all that, and it's just turned into a routine of killing people? What's the difference between a guillotine and working in the pharmaceutical industry or working in hospitals, knowing that what you're doing is forcing upon children and the public something that is killing them? You think these nurses were able to ignore all the people that just mysteriously died? Do you think they actually suspended their disbelief to believe the narrative that COVID was killing all these people when they saw COVID never killed anyone and no one ever had any complications until after they took the vax? What's the difference? Here's another picture. Here's another picture that embodies the concept right here. Here it is. What's the difference? Medical personnel, escorting you into a room where there's a guillotine, that's a much more merciful death than a whole bunch of deaths that we saw on videos where people were in the middle of giving a speech and all of a sudden their eyes flutter and then foam comes out their mouth and they have a crick in their neck and then embarrassingly fall down in front of a bunch of people and then they die. What's the difference? Anyway, I haven't posted it, but yeah, man, I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about putting some words on there to the effect pharmaceutical company and Christian Reich, man, or what difference does it make? A lot of people in the medical profession, they're guilty as fuck. Guilty as fuck. It's crazy, man. Whole thing's just so crazy. Yeah, man. Hey, Krusty, I still got to get with you, man. You know I've been real busy, bro, for the Archaics Underground. I thought it was going to be pretty fast. I naively thought that within like 96 hours, I was going to be able to upload all this stuff. I've already got 3 times more spaces than I started with because you guys keep coming up with these genius ideas. And okay, let's do that. And then Aaron's Personals, I didn't like the way that people were mixing business with pleasure. Aaron's Personals should be about pleasure and networking and trying to build community, and all the business deals, that was my fault. So I went ahead and started a new one this morning. Aaron's Business, and I forgot what it's called now. But anyway, you get the gist. I said I had to do something else. And then I totally forgot about my Phoenix research, my Dark Satellite research, my Nemesis X research. I forgot all about that. All I had was parts, out of place artifacts, and mysterious history. That's not near enough for everything I've got. I might even start another one because the Phoenix one is going to be huge. It's huge. It's going to be huge. So maybe I should separate the Phoenix one, have the general chronological historical record Phoenix stuff, and then have a totally separate one for Vapor Canopy evidence, because that's going to be massive too. I have a huge file of evidence that we've had not one, but at least 2 or 3 Vapor Canopies in the last 4,000 years. So, yeah, man, I've just been real busy, Krusty. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. Yes, a bunch of nurses did speak out. You're right. A lot of them got fired. But there's a whole bunch of people in the medical profession that are still in the medical profession after they willingly engaged. They know damn well that a whole bunch of people died under very mysterious circumstances. They were complicit. It's terrible, man. It's also terrible that at the same time this is happening, we're getting gaslit, and all the people out there that are really teaching real medical remedies, real ways to heal, teaching what was really going on with the vaccine. Yeah, they got demonized. A whole bunch of people on YouTube lost their channels and stuff, and all they were was talking about herbalism. All they're doing was talking about alternative holistic remedies and all that. Yeah, it's total bullshit. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Ward, listen, I am all for. I am not on the wagon burning train where people are all talking about, they take it to the extreme that, oh, AI is evil, man. They talk about Terminator and the machines are going to end up rising against us and all that. Listen, I'm not on that bandwagon at all. It's an AI is a tool. It's just a tool. And AI can be used for a whole bunch of things, but as I've shown on my channel, you can't rely on it for source materials because it's gonna lie to you. It's gonna lie to you. But other than that, yeah, it's a great tool. I know somebody on a very strict diet that uses AI to come up with recipes based off certain ingredients that she can have. She can't have a lot of stuff. So she provides the ingredients and then tells AI what kind of dishes that she would like and what's the best way to do it, how to supplement some of these ingredients for other things and still be able to taste like the foods that she likes. And it does a fantastic job. So yeah, there's all kinds of ways. You can use AI to show all kinds of carpentry techniques. I've done it. I just finished a massive woodworking project on my property. And there's all kinds of really innovative ways you can use AI. There's no doubt. I don't know what you mean, Lewis. Cipher equals Antikythera mechanism. Antikythera computer is very compelling, but there's only one Greek moniker on the 360-degree wheel that shows Greek symbols for the moon, lunar phases, and all that. It showed where the sun was going to be and where the moon was going to be for any time going forward and backward. But what's really interesting is that De Solo Price, Zechariah Sitchin, and other researchers pinpointed when that central date was on the mechanism that went forward and backward in time, and it's amazing. Zechariah Sitchin thought it was 585 BC, and that's because he's Jewish, and he would like to think that the Babylonian destruction of Jerusalem had was more important to the rest of the world than it was. I promise you, most of the world didn't even know what happened and didn't care. Dr. Robert De Sola Price said that the Greek moniker on there for the center date by which all calculations went forward and backward in time was about 584 BC. He was pretty close. It's amazing. But we already know in the Phoenix research, 583 BC was exactly the date where everything can be measured forward and backward in time. As a matter of fact, 583 BC is the 1656th year after the Great Flood. And the Great Flood was the 1656th year of the pre-flood world, starting 3895 BC. Yeah, the Antikythera computer is amazing, but it measures everything forward and back. I think that 583 BC, I haven't looked at it yet, but 583 BC should be just like 1998. It should be just like 1973 and just like 1902. You should be able to see a mirroring effect in the unfolding of events going forward and backward in time. Absolutely. We can chat. I can bring some of y'all on the screen right now. We can do whatever y'all want to do. This is y'all's time. I understand there's a lot of people who are already using Cypher for their personal and business, because y'all send me emails. I talk to people. Some of y'all send me emails. So I understand a lot of people are using Cypher to do the personal and professional, and they're having great success. It's the gambling that we're still trying to iron out. So whatever you want to do, if y'all want, I can drop my share, my invite link right here. Y'all can come on screen with me. We can chat and talk or whatever, or I can run Cypher predictions for anybody who gives me dates. Whatever y'all want to do. This is y'all's time. When we're done here, I'm gonna get back on Archaics Underground because I got a lot more to load. I got a lot more tonight to upload. I've been uploading a lot in Mysterious History and in UPart. Oh, I uploaded a whole bunch in the Christianity and Bible space today. I sure did. But I got a lot more. I got all kinds of stuff, quotes. I've got another 100 really badass PDFs of old books to upload as well. I got all kinds of things to upload. They say younger people are entering relationships with AI. Yeah, I get it. You know what? I'm really, I can understand. I'm not saying that I'm cool with it. I'm saying that I understand. I can practice a little empathy here. The world is getting darker and darker. People don't want to go out and meet people. People don't want to engage in personal relationships that are going to require them to engage in responsibilities that they know that at this point in time, because the way the economy is, the way our social structuring is, the way all this civil unrest is, they know they're just not going to be able to maintain that relationship. I get it. Look at me, guys. Look at me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm in great shape. I'm only 52. I don't feel old at all, but I have this disconnect. And so I supplement that with my community. I supplement, I stay busy. And it's just the more time that passes in my life, the more I feel I do not belong here. But in feeling like I do not belong here, I feel like I've already accomplished so much that I need to get it out there. My work is not done until everything that I've researched and all is out there, and it's not yet. I'm still releasing stuff. You still have new revelations. You have new aha moments that are coming. I'm just not done. But while I'm doing this work, I don't feel this compulsion for attachments. Getting with Dawn was a huge mistake. It was premature, and I fault myself for that. But at the same time, prior to Dawn, I had never been in any long-term relationship. We were together 2 years, so I kind of went in not really expecting anything, and not really understanding just almost, I hate to say it like that, rights, privileges, and immunities, but that's exactly what it was. How many rights, privileges, and immunities I was going to lose in gradations over a period of time, until I got to the point where I realized, well, holy shit, I'm no longer financially independent. Someone else is managing all my finances, and I'm unable to account for a lot of the earnings. I mean, I make a lot of money. I have a lot of income streams. And especially after Archaics TV took off, and things weren't adding up, and I started asking questions, and instead of getting answers, I was getting gaslit. I'm a reasonably intelligent guy. I kind of understood, okay, well, something's wrong at this point. And this went on for a period of time until a few financial decisions had been made that were very obvious that it was not. I mean, I just point blank, once Dawn realized that I had pulled away and I had pulled back, that's when there was no more uh there was no more money not being in accounts where it should have been. Now it was lots of money just being moved without even my permission. So yeah, and I don't want to go into details. I'm just saying I wasn't I didn't have the maturity to enter into a relationship, didn't know what I was getting into, and it ended up costing me my ass even after I fired her publicly on YouTube. I mean, she backed me into a corner. So I just, you know what? Uh I'm really good. I'm really good who I am today. I'm fine. I'm fine just like this. Fine just like this. I got too much work to do. Let's see. Men in Japan are marrying robots. Wow. I did see a movie like that one time, and I think one of them had a glitch or somebody put a Trojan program in one of the female lover androids, and it killed the guy. They were using them as assassins. That's right. The movie. So yeah, it might look like a female. It might feel like a female, but it's not a female. Just no robots, no androids are ever going to replace females. It's like it's like putting tinfoil on a golf cart and claiming that it's a moon rover. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. Not going to work. Yes, Lala Kelly. Acquiring a mountain in New Mexico is on the menu. I would like to spend, like, the last 12 years riding out to 2040 in New Mexico, in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain. I can leave everything here in Willis, Texas. I can go. I could do that. No problem with that. So I saw Krusty in here a minute ago. Krusty, is the back history chart for NFL for the last 6 years done? Is it complete? Am I able to download it? Are you able to email me a link to download it so I can have it on my desktop and I can look at it and I can run some dummy simulations? If Krusty's still with us. He might have stepped away from his computer. I appreciate that, Lewis. I'm not saying that I'm going to stay single forever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying right now it's not on the menu. Right now I'm just too busy. Just too busy. I'm too busy, man. Something like that requires unless you can find someone who has their own life, they have their own priorities, they have a basically a strict schedule. And that's a different scenario because both individuals are entering into a situation for which they both know their time is limited. So what little time they do have together would be more meaningful. But the problem is it would have to be equally yoked. The male and the female would both have to have some type of life. May not be professional, could be a hobby, could be something else, or maybe taking care of an older family member, whatever it is. The individuals would have to be equally yoked as far as time management, so that when the few times they can get together, it's a lot more meaningful. But if it's not equally yoked, then one is going to end up getting tired of the other, thinking that they're being purposely left out. And I wouldn't want anybody to feel that way. I wouldn't. It's a relationship requires that both parties agree to terms. And if I'm always busy with Cypher, with Archaics Academy, because I've been working on Academy a lot right before I started the Archaics Underground. So yeah, I would have been done with all this if I hadn't so many personal setbacks, setbacks in my personal life. Because it wasn't just separating from Dawn. It was you guys remember the getting attacked by YouTubers. I made a deal with the court to do away with all the charges and all that. I went to jail for 11 days. The I'm telling you, I've had a lot of setbacks, but I come back stronger each time. And with Dawn, it was a double setback because I separated from her, which caused a lot of problems. Uh, but the dumbest thing I could have ever done was for 6 months, I let her continue to run Archaics, and I continued to pay her every month. And then it got so toxic and terrible, I had to publicly fire her just to let the community know, look, guys, quit emailing her, quit asking her this, quit forwarding all these things to her. I've already lost too much in that direction. So with Dawn, it was two major setbacks, 6 months apart. And despite all that, come back strong. But what I'm saying is I would have already been done with Archaics Academy, and I've already been done with Archaics Underground, and everything would have smoothed out, and I would be back on my meetup train, going to different cities, doing all kinds. The only reason I'm not doing meetups right now is because all this, Cypher, Archaics Academy, still running Archaics, and now Archaics Underground. All this is like at the same time, so it's. I don't know why we're even talking. Oh, relationships. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Krusty popped in. What do you have to say? Okay, he said, not yet. We have been reviewing the data and been finding errors and correcting. Cool. I'm all for that. I'm all for checking, because believe me, I'm gonna pick a few columns and then get on ESPN's website and look up wins and losses and make sure everything's kosher. Absolutely. I'm all for that. Oh, you'll have a new data set later today. That's excellent, man. That's fantastic. That'll give me all tonight. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm gonna spend all day Sunday getting all this stuff uploaded to Archaics Underground, so people have plenty to do. And I'm always open because you guys provided me some really good ones. I'm always open. If there's another idea for another space, because last night I went ahead and bit the bullet and I paid for the premium package. This is the second upgrade. I got the original, and then I upgraded it to business when I needed more spaces, and then I went ahead and upgraded it to premium. So I have more spaces. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best use for them. If you guys have any really unique or innovative ideas, not for me so much. I got plenty of spaces of my own where I do all my uploads. I'm looking for interactive things that would involve the community. That's what I'm trying to. Maybe we already have Errant's Paranormal, and we have Errant's Personals, and we've separated the Errant's business now, business and services. It has their own deal. We also have the Errant's Health and Wellness. It's its own, and we also have a space for like hobbies or arts and crafts and hobbies. So is there something I missed? If you guys can think of something else that a lot of people, I might not be interested in engaging in that, but you guys might know something that a lot of people in the community would definitely like to do. Is there some type of activity for which I missed that I could create a whole space out of? Don't say Galactic Federation. I will boot you right off my video. Oh, I have a what are you talking about, Jonathan? I have a original artwork. I mean, I do have there is a space for people to put their music and their arts and crafts and hobbies. Oh, that was Megan that said that. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan said Academy. I don't know how. I guess I already have Archaics Academy on my website. I don't know how I would incorporate it. I don't know about that, Martin Davis. That seems to be something some people want, and then other people are offended at it. Flat Earth Dave did that. He used an app to do that, and it's kind of a lot of people don't like it. It's Martin said, "How about a map of where members are located in the world?" That's why I put Aaron's personals in there for you guys to hash that out. If that creates no liability on my part, I'm not liable because I didn't put your locations out there. Yeah, it's called doxing. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Yeah, there's a lot of people who aren't cool with that. And if everybody's not going to participate, then I would rather just not do it and let people just in Aaron's personals. People say where they're at all the time. Oh, okay, okay. That makes sense. Archaics Academy chat or study group. That means I can have a post for every single Archaics Academy. 26 right now, but I'm about to upload 10 more. So it would be 36 posts. In each one of them, the thread can be Q&A on the bottom of them. But how would I keep a lot of people out? I mean, the people that are attending Archaics Academy, I have the email list. Those are the only people that are that I promised would, once they graduate, they're gonna get this badass collector's coin because it's a limited print. So it's a limited mint. I'd have to figure out how I could lock that for only those on the approved Archaics Academy list, and those who sign up for Archaics Academy, because we're not. That could get. Yeah, I have to figure that one out. But yeah, I do like the idea. Now that I think of it, there should be a way to do the Academy on there. It doesn't really get enough traction on my website. That's why I've kind of lost interest sometimes. There is power in the groves. I don't know where East Grove or West Grove is. I don't like Houston, Dr. Ward. It's to me, it's the asshole of Texas. I do not like going south of Rayford Sawdust, and that's not Houston. That's Spring. I do not like going south of Rayford Sawdust. I'm way up here in Willis. I prefer to stay in the Conroe area, even though it's getting too crowded now. Lala Kelly says, however, you have the Sentinel area locked. Well, I mean, there's what I haven't even started the Sentinel area. The Archaic Sentinels is me posting like Billy Carson. Okay, forbidden knowledge, Billy Carson. He's a project. Anybody who's willing to go behind his paywall and go look, see what's going on. We'll have stuff to report in the lifestyles of the grifting and infamous, and also if he's lifting content or doing some other bullshit, because I believe he is. That's where, under that post that I do on Billy Carson, that's where people who have actually done the work and gone behind the paywall can actually say, "Oh man, look, this is what I saw. This is screenshot. This, look at this. Oh man, look at that. They're talking about Archaics in here. Look at this." And making up stuff, whatever. Yeah, man, we can do all that. So I have it locked for a reason. It's locked because I'm the one giving the assignments out on who we're going to go check out, what paywalls we're going to go as a group and go check out and report back. Yeah, Billy Carson had a chance, man. I used to try to educate that dude. He kicked me every single Facebook group. That's how he got popular. He started with Facebook, and he had like 20 Anunnaki groups, and thousands and thousands of people published all kinds of Anunnaki stuff. And Billy Carson harvested all this material, and he started believing it. And he went way beyond Zecharia Sitchin and he just started. Billy Carson used to freestyle stuff that does not come from any book, any historical records, pure imagination. Yeah. He's something else. It's pissed off a lot of people, especially with that $8,000 PDF. Can you believe that? Yeah. he had a campaign. About 2 years ago, he had this campaign where he's going to Billy Carson, the truther extraordinaire, who has no cryptocurrency, has no crypto accounts, is going to educate you he's going to give you a master class. And he's going to, if you're willing to invest in crypto, he's going to show you how to get rich with it. So it was $8,000 admittance. But if you didn't read the fine print, and it was a whole bunch of stuff, other people sent it to me, they were pissed. If you didn't read the fine print, you wouldn't even realize that he's not taking your $8,000 and putting it in a pool to invest crypto so you can get a return. This is what it sounds like he's doing, and this is what you would assume he was doing, because $8,000 is a lot for a 2-cent PDF. Because once you paid the $8,000, he sent you a PDF. And the PDF was like 30 pages of instructions on what you can do with your crypto after you buy it. Yeah. That's what Billy Carson did. Man, there's so many people mad at that dude, but it's a perfect grift. It's a perfect grift. He already had a community that trusted him. He already had a huge demographic, so nobody would suspect that he was grifting. Can you imagine? Just 10 people is $80,000. Yeah. There was a lot of people that fell for that, and they were pissed. But every 10 people was 80 grand. And no one can sue him, because in the fine print, pretty hidden, a bunch of mumbo jumbo, it literally said that you're paying for the Billy Carson masterclass, how to do your, it was all in there. Yep. That's what launched Billy. That's how Billy launched. Used that money to start big dogging and paying for paying for subs, paying for hits, paying clickbait, all this stuff. And he invested that money and got a legitimate advertising agency to market him. I've never had that. I have never marketed Archaix outside Archaix videos and on social media, X and Facebook and Instagram. I've never paid for advertising, none of that stuff. Just word of mouth. That's what I believe. I believe if something's if something is gonna be of value to the community is gonna find it. I don't have to force feed it down anybody. I just don't. A lot of people were pissed off about that $8,000. And what's crazy about it is when this controversy exploded online about 2.5 years ago, there were many people in the black community that defended Billy Carson. Yeah. Just shows you how toxic a lot of these people are. They were defending Billy Carson, saying, well, man, you can't hate on somebody for being smarter than you. You can't hate on somebody for laying out that game. He didn't make you pay him $8,000. Yeah, you trying to take down a G. You're trying to take down a hero in the black community. It says, it ain't our fault that most white folks are real naive. Yeah, man, these are the arguments that were used online to defend Billy Carson. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I was going to do a video about this whole thing, but you know what? I try not to live a reactionary life. I talk about this a lot on my channel. I mean, you're either a receiver or a broadcaster, and you got to be very careful what you allow yourself to broadcast and make sure you're not just being reactionary. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to do a toxic video on Billy Carson exposing all this, showing screenshots of all the chat and the argument. I was going to do all that. And then I realized, you know what, man, this is stupid. This is stupid. The only reason I wanted to do it wasn't because I care about all these people that got scammed by him. They did it to themselves, even following that dumbass. I was doing it because I was being reactionary to the fact that I found out that Billy Carson emailed every truther and platform out there, showing them my criminal history when I started attacking him on YouTube and calling him out to debate. He felt it so bad that he couldn't debate me and that he couldn't meet me on the deal, that he went ahead and contacted everyone. You wouldn't believe, even small channels received the email from Forbidden Knowledge News. It was a public notice about me and my criminal history. And he said in this email, the reason he's not going to debate Jason of Archaics is not because I'm right. It's because he can't be associated with anybody with my criminal history. He emailed this to everyone. Yeah. So that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go ahead and hit him where it hurt, but then I don't know, a few videos later, I didn't feel the same way. You know what? It just ended up being that way. I ended up letting him make it. But I'm not gonna let him make it again, because that's why I've got the Archaic Sentinels. You don't think word's gonna spread as soon as we do a live YouTube video and we start showing I mean, some of this stuff is gonna be criminal. Yeah, violation of copyright is serious. You go in behind somebody's paywall and I see definitive things that have been taken from me and they could have only come from me. And then I show them in a live video and show how these were obtained behind a paywall from somebody who is getting all this money. It's nothing. It is nothing for me to drop a tortious interference suit quick. Yeah, man. So it would even be better to find that he's not lifting my material, but he lifted somebody else's. Because then I can have the moral high ground of showing the individual, hey man, you know, Billy Carson's getting paid behind his paywall for all the stuff, all the research you put out. This is your stuff, man. All this right here. This is, did you sign a contract with Billy Carson for all this? Because he's not putting your name on it. It's got his name on it. Yeah. That's the danger of paywalls. Paywalls. People hide things behind paywalls, man. I've already got a list of people I suspect. Some of them on Twitter that they don't make sense to me. I don't understand how these guys got 300,000 followers and all they do is post 2 or 3 pictures in engagement farm. Can you believe how these stones were put together? This is called polygonal masonry. Polygonal masonry is put together like this to make it earthquake proof. You didn't make that up, and that's not your discovery, but you didn't cite a source. So where'd you get the information from? You harvested it from someone else. Yeah, one of these guys, I ain't gonna lie, Jay Anderson. Yeah, I've been going through his material. I'm like, wow, this man is, according to him, he's probably never read a book because he's never cited one. And yet he's got a massive amount of data, and he's just a young guy. And he's got a budget that allows him to travel all over the world and do all these kinds of things and speak with authority about things I can tell from what he's saying he knows nothing about. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers. So he's one of them that's on my radar right now, specifically because I know that Archaics has long reach. I know I have a long reach. I see people engaging in comments in different places, and it's given, you know, people, they bring these things to my attention. And for him to answer a comment of mine when he released a post, and those images had been on my X page previously, and when I saw them and I saw what he was saying about them, I sent Jay Message a public, again, I reposted it on X so my whole community could see it. I literally called him out. I said, hey man, I just told my community the exact same thing on a YouTube video last week, and I showed the exact same pictures, man. I said that's a hell of a coincidence. And within 5 seconds he dropped a response. I've never seen. How many accounts you know of that's got 300,000 followers on X that drops a response in 5 seconds? He dropped a response in 5 seconds saying, I don't mean any disrespect, but I've never heard of you. I don't follow you, and I don't know what you're talking about. That put him on my radar. Just like that. I'll be going. I don't care if nobody in the Archaic Sentinels goes with me. I will be going behind that paywall to go look for some shit. Maury, I can agree with that. Billy is a distraction from your core competencies and not worth your time. I get all that. It's not really I mean, if I was focused on him, I'm not. I'm focused on 50 different things. He's just one of them. And he's not even one of them very, very often. I mean, Maury, if you think about it, I put out 16 to 18 videos a month on YouTube. Billy Carson's not the focus of any of them. He was about 2 months ago. And about 2 months before that, I even did a in defense of Billy Carson video. So he's really not in my field that much. He's not. Yeah, I wasn't cool with the way the Christians were clicking on him because it wasn't cool how they set him up. And I don't even like Billy at all. But I still had to do a video in defense of him behind the whole Wes Huff narrative. It's crazy. But yeah, Jay Anderson, he's another one that's on the radar. So's that new guy on YouTube I mentioned the other day, the other week. Come on. 11 months ago, you were unknown. 11 months ago, no one knew who you are. You have a 2-year bachelor's in history. You start a YouTube channel 11 months ago and you've already got 9 million views. You've already been on Joe Rogan. It's only been 11 months. Yeah, you've only got 40-something videos. Yeah, I'm not buying that shit. And as soon as you go on Joe Rogan, Jimmy Corsetti, who looks just like you, Jay Anderson, Jimmy Corsetti, this new guy, all blonde hair, blue-eyed guys, man. It's like, what the hell? What is the CIA just turning out clones? And all these clones all of a sudden know everything about megalithomania? They know all this stuff? Blows my mind. So I called that dude out too. So yeah, I can't stop doing the call outs. I can't stop because they've upped their game. So I'm upping mine as well with Archaics Underground. You don't think people are on notice right now? Holy shit. When I put that stuff out, when I said that the other day on YouTube, you don't think the word has spread? You don't think people are already cleaning up their paywalls? You don't think people are emailing back and forth saying, damn, man, this dude Jason will not go away? You already know Ancient Aliens has blacklisted me. Forbidden Knowledge has blacklisted me. Graham Hancock and his whole clique, Randall Carlson, never answered any of my emails, and I've sent a lot. Yeah, I've got personal friends that know Graham Hancock very well, have talked to him about me. He's not coming to the table ever. Yeah, the call-outs. All these people have blacklisted me, and I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. And now the community is starting to see it as well. The silence is deafening. So I'm not going to stop. There's no way. I can continue doing what I'm doing, but I also need to remind the community over and over. So listen, man, all these guys, all these intelligence agency narratives out here, you notice they're still not coming to debate. Not one of them. They show their hand. They show their hand. Oh, that coffee's so real. Guys, I have not grinded coffee beans in over a week. No, I'm still drinking out of that Nescafe jar. Man, once I opened that, it was over with. It was over with. Yeah, I'll never stop the immortal within content. I'm never, Maury. That's the most important. It's more important than the Phoenix stuff. Because if you truly grasp that we are immortals and that nothing here really matters, everything here is just BS. Once you truly understand that all absolute power and everything important comes from within, then the Phoenix phenomenon is not going to matter anyway. It's just not. So that's why I'm not preparing for it. You don't, in this construct, you do not prepare for a negative. Preparing for a negative actually causes the very quantum collapse that creates the collapse of that phenomena into your field. Yeah, man, screw all that. I'm not preparing for a negative. Not me. I'm not going underground. I know I'm going to be just fine wherever I'm at, the phenomena is going to be observed, not experienced. Yeah, it has everything to do with, are you receiving or are you broadcasting? I'm telling you. And if you're broadcasting, you better not be broadcasting the frequencies, because I'm telling you, man, Phoenix is like a hunter. It's like, yeah, the Phoenix is like a hunter. It is hunting those frequencies. But I mean, it's just like, what is that? What is that animal that cannot see unless you're moving? If you're still, it can't see you. It's the movement that it sees. Phoenix is the exact same way, except instead of optically, it's all about frequency. Yeah, man. Yeah, but that Nescafe coffee is real. I love that shit. No, Martin Davis. Martin Davis, you would shit on our Cheerios like that. We're talking about the Phoenix. And even after the Phoenix, you still got 6.5 years until 2046. But yeah, 2046 is different. The Nemesis X object, that's a game changer. That's going to be harrowing. 2046, the Nemesis X object has never done what Phoenix has done. It doesn't darken the sun. It doesn't turn the moon red. It doesn't do it's not even it doesn't even appear in the sky like Phoenix, like an intruder planet. Because remember, the sky is simulated, but it's the Nemesis X object, and every instance that it appears, it's like a super construction. I hate saying it like this because it sounds almost unbelievable, but we have the idea of like a giant capital ship, except there is no space. So we're not dealing with a capital ship. We're actually dealing with some type of super construction that attaches to something in the sky, and it allows for an exchange of materials for 60 years. For 60-year period, humans go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like a ladder in the sky. It's like a city suspended in the sky. Nemesis X object is unlike anything. I don't even know if there's any movies that portray it accurately. When it appeared in the old world, this is what started the 60-year period that's very famous in antiquity. My new book, Chronicon, is coming out like this week. And in there, we have a long section about the sexagesimal system and its origin. It's based off a 60-year period when the gods interacted with humans. And then when the 60 years was over, they were gone, but they left their children behind. And their children were raised by humans on the surface. So anyway, this is from our limited frames of reference. If we were to believe that we lived on an Earth in a solar system, then it would be like the arrival of a capital ship that gets locked in geosynchronous orbit, and it stays there 60 years as it fills up with water, men and materials, foods, cereals. Humans work and provide all the foods it needs, because when it leaves in the 60th year, it's not coming back for 732 years, because the Nemesis X periodicity is 792 years. That is 60 years suspended in the sky, and then 732 years it's gone. And that pattern is unbroken. 3439 BC all the way to 1314 AD, when it was seen like a great black spear that darkened the stars in 1314 AD. 732 years before 2046, which is 60 years to 2106, the 6,000th year. The 6,000th year of the Phoenix timeline that started 3895 BC with the Adam and Eve reset, but it's the year 7,344 of the Anuna timeline that started in 5239 BC, for which the Great Pyramid apophthegm measures in 7,344. inches. It is the Exodus. So I don't talk about this a lot because it goes into Star Trek type stuff. Because when I totally explain the whole Nemesis X phenomenon in chronology and how it bridges 2046, 60 years later with 2106, then it gives us a whole new idea about what the Exodus is really about. It is the removal. It's the removal of participants from inside the construct. And apparently there's no way out of here except during those 60-year windows that the Nemesis X object is suspended in the sky. And the religionists contorted all this. And they said in the last days after Armageddon and, the chief cornerstone comes, they made up the Jesus deal to replace the chief cornerstone prophecies. But the chief cornerstone will descend. And when he does, there's this great battle of good and evil. But it's the redeemed. It's those who overcame. They are taken into the sky and they're taken away. And in the sky is what? The New Jerusalem. The religionists made all this up, but the actual prophecies from which they structured all this religiosity around was that a city was going to be suspended in the sky. And that the Exodus is about those that are here that are going to be taken to that city in the sky. And then the city in the sky is going to leave. And then things get really bad here in the world right before a reset, a total systemic reset. Because this is where there's a 72-year period, 72 years from 2106 when the Nemesis X object leaves. Then there's 72 more years to the next Phoenix date. The next Phoenix date, though, is the big one. Yeah, it's 2178. It's the immortal loop number. 2178 shows us that the whole timeline flips back to the beginning. And then the beginning goes on for about 456 years before Nemesis X object appears. It's on a perfect loop and all the math works perfectly. So, yeah, we're getting to it. We're getting to it. You guys are gonna see it before it's fully unveiled all the way on YouTube. You guys are gonna see it in Archaics Underground way faster than that because I just started a space for the Nemesis X object in dark satellite. And there's no way I'm gonna be able to post all that data without you seeing what I'm talking about. It all works. It all works perfectly. We have been made to believe that we started primitive and we've moved up to technological sophistication, but the opposite is true. And it's because history is not linear. This is cyclical, which means the ancient past is just a few more years into the future. And the future is nothing but a reflection of the reset of the ancient past. This is the whole meaning of the snake eating its own tail. Yeah, the sky dragon always comes, but it just resets us right back. The sky dragon comes. It's called Ouroboros. Ouroboros is showing that civilization is one of resets, and that time is cyclical, not linear. So yeah, it's we have a lot of ground to cover, but if something is true somewhere, then it's probably true everywhere. If technological sophistication is existing right now, then it's probably always existed. The entire sky is technological. There's nothing real about that. That's a mirage. Evidence that it's a mirage is every 138 years when all the variable stars start acting up. Yeah, those are the stars that astronomy kind of gaslights us on. Every variable star is red. Why? A variable star differs from ordinary luminaries because it blinks. All the other luminaries are fixed, and they're in the sky in orders of magnitude: first magnitude, second magnitude, third magnitude, fourth. But variable stars are called variable stars because they break the rules. They do not stay within their magnitudes. Very unusual stars, and they're all red. But when every 138 years when the Phoenix phenomenon takes off, the variable stars start acting a fool. I believe that those are thousands of little projectors that are creating Phoenix phenomena. So remember, red is the common denominator with the Phoenix phenomenon. I have a video about. See, that's another one of the 80 something videos I have to redo. People have forgot about that. I even named all the constellations that are variable star rich, and it's amazing. Cecrops, Perseus, the Destroyer, the Ghoul, Algol, Andromeda, Cassiopeia. Do you see the Phoenix? All these constellations that are in mythology that are connected to the Phoenix phenomenon are the main constellations for which all these variable stars are located. So yeah, it's crazy. I see that's a whole nother video. I need to reach back and get that one and redo that one. No doubt, we're probably already underground in a Hunger Games dome. Yeah, man. I mean, it could be something as simple. Listen, this is crazy here. It could be something as simple as some of the things that perplex us from a social and personal level. Like, I'll give you an example. Shoot, I'm attracted to women, but there are a lot of guys who are attracted to other guys, and there are women who are attracted to other women. It could be something as simple. The explanation could be very, very simple. You're playing an avatar for which isn't the real gender that you have on the outside of the construct. Could be something as simple as that. Or we're genderless outside the construct. The avatars that we have assumed, sex isn't even a thing out there. There is no procreation, and that we sign up for these experiences in these simulacrums because we can do and experience things in here that we can't do as immortals on the outside. So sex would be one of the benefits, but also pain is also one of the main deterrents why a lot of people on the outside never do this. I believe it's a small minority of immortals that actually participate in these events. I believe this is the whole meaning behind the prodigal son. I believe a lot of the things Jesus spoke of were in overarching terms concerning the actual relationship between the real reality and the false reality that we find ourselves in right now. That's what I suspect. But I don't know. These are things that I ponder a lot. You know, I've never gone this deep with my Cypher community. We're normally doing, date sequence predictive analytics exercises, and we're doing all that. But I have a question to ask you right now. We were going to run predictions, but you guys got me talking about all these different things. So I wonder, would you mind if I put this in Archaics Underground? I won't put it on YouTube, this video. I mean, it is on YouTube, but it's locked. What I'm saying is, just for Archaics Underground, we kind of went deep on some things here. Maybe I should, if you guys don't mind, just for the Archaics Underground community, I can make this live. I mean, I'm not going to let nobody else in. There's been many people trying to get in Cypher now. Now they realize we're the real deal. We're really doing this stuff. And yeah, a lot of people were hesitant, and I'm kind of offended too, because you guys know that I refunded a lot of money, a lot. So, and I did it because of some bullshit that happened. So I'm really excited that this new group took off the way it did. Really do. But yeah, I can put it. Martin Davis, okay. Megan. Yeah, man. More, okay. There's some things in here people need to hear. Absolutely. We can not for the YouTube community, but just for Archaics Underground. That'd be badass. Yeah, Lala, I didn't. A lot of those people tried to come back in. I mean, after I gave him full refunds, I don't care, man. When she started saying everything she said and all that, you know what? I didn't care. As soon as I got an email, even asking me a question, I said, "Hey, hold on. What was your payment email? What email did you use to make your payment?" Looked it up, found it, refunded them, kicked them out the group. I was done with that. So done with that. Yeah, man, I was so done with that. But no, I'm not letting nobody else is coming into the group because uh you guys have already seen all the live videos. The public hasn't. There's a lot of live videos that you guys have archived for the Cypher community. We've had live videos every time we have an upgrade. We're on the 9th upgrade. Doug is amazing. Doug, I had no idea when I entered this relationship with Doug that he was going to be so awesome in being able to keep up, and even faster than I anticipated to introduce little tweaks here and there that made things better. It's awesome. Doug is badass. Yeah, man. Krusty knows as well. Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. I think there's only 4 of us in GitHub, right? Krusty, you, me, Doug, and I don't know. No, didn't we invite? We invited a 4th, didn't we? I thought we invited a 4th. I thought it was Lewis. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just can't remember. So yeah, we're on the 9th iteration, so it's gonna be badass. So what was I talking about? I went off on a tangent about, yeah, the Nemesis X object even looks like a super. The image that was on the stone at Stonehenge, it's so compelling because the Nemesis X object in the historical record appeared in 3439 BC. It was the year 456 of the pre-flood world. It is the exact same time that Enki appeared. We know this because 3439 BC is precisely 1,200 years before the Great Flood. And we know that 12 centuries is when Vulcan appeared and began teaching civilization to the pre-flood people. This is in the Phoenician records. So Vulcan is another word for Phoenix, but Nemesis X object and Phoenix are often confused with each other. They're both sky dragons. So the 1200 years is confirmed in the Sumerian records, and in the Babylonian Berosus account, the gods appeared 432,000 shars before the Great Flood. And we know that 432,000 days is 1200 years perfectly, which fulfills the whole Arabian traditions of the 12 centuries of the Ad and the Thamud that built cities before the flood, before God wiped them out. This 1200-year period is mentioned all over the world. It's also this 1200-year period in the Babylonian records is also called the 10 Kings period. And the 10 Kings, it's really interesting because the 10 Kings are mentioned in the Atlantis record. The 10 Kings are mentioned in the Arabian records. The 10 Kings are also mentioned in the Book of Revelation, which H.S. Bellamy tells us is history, not prophecy. So he has a pretty good point, because even the 7 kings that oppose the 10 kings are also mentioned in the Book of Revelation. I think he's wrong, though. I think the Book of Revelation is about prophecy, but it's based off the past. But what the Book of Revelation does is what the Book of Genesis does. Genesis conveys the future in past tense. The Book of Revelation conveys the future in past tense. The Book of Genesis and the Book of Revelation are the cipher for each other. They borrow the same. They have the same language, the same symbols. That everything is in multiples of 7. And starting with the second book of the Bible, we have the hijacking, which is called the Book of Exodus. It is when the demon popped out of a burning bush and altered it and offered a new covenant called the covenant of death. The covenant of Yahweh has nothing to do with the covenant that's mentioned in the book of Abraham. In the book of Genesis, the book of Genesis covenant was with Abraham, and it says it was never going to be changed ever. But all of a sudden, in the very second book of the Bible, we have a whole new covenant. It's not from a God, it's from a demon that popped out of a burning bush. So it's crazy. Whole thing's crazy. Starting with the second book of the Bible, we have the hijacking all the way to the last book of the Old Testament. And then the hijacking continues all the way through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which is not an accurate depiction of historical events, but the historizing of a literary masterpiece, which was known before Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the sayings of Jesus, in the possession of a Turkish navigator named, what's his name? I can't believe I drew a blank on that. He was a student of the Gnosis, and he had 11 letters of Paul, and he had a document called the Sayings of Jesus, and that's all it was. No virgin birth, no miracles, no water into wine, no walking on water, no raising the dead, none of that. It was the sayings of Jesus. No crucifixion, no sun darkening, no earthquake, no Mount of Transfiguration, no virgin birth, none of that. It was the sayings of Jesus, and 11 documents allegedly written by someone named Paul, who was a Jewish convert. Marcion, excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Megan. Marcion. So, Marcion was a navigator who had these writings, and the fact that he was a navigator even lends credence to the deal, because people want to believe that these things were written in the Near East. They were written in Jerusalem. They weren't at all. They were all written in Turkey. Even Paul's letters are to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And then he names them, and they're all Greek cities. Most of them Ionian. Almost every one of them except Athens is in Turkey. So, but they were Greek cities. Anyway, I digress. This, the Nemesis X object, Stonehenge, was built right after 3439 BC. Right after Oannes appears in the Babylonian traditions. He is the Enki of the ancient world. Oannes was dressed like a fish, but he was a human with a long beard. He was dressed like a fish because he came out of the sea. And this is what the oldest Sumerian writings talk about. This is what Thor Heyerdahl had issue with. Thor Heyerdahl couldn't stand Eric von Daniken. Thor Heyerdahl said, man, the oldest Sumerian record says they were navigators, and they came from the deep. They came from the Great Sea by way of an island called Dilmun. So he didn't say anything about coming from space. The Sumerian, the Anunnaki didn't come from space. It came from the ocean. And this is what you find in the Babylonian history of Oannes. Oannes is nothing but a Semitic version of the older Sumerian and Akkadian An. An being the oldest designation of Enki, of Enoch. An was the god that came out of the sea with a long beard. He was dressed like a fish because he came from the ocean. And Oannes appeared 12 centuries before the Great Flood. Every bit of it fits perfectly. It's all synthetic. Nemesis X object appears, and all of a sudden, Neolithic man gets everything that's mentioned in the book of Enoch and in the first 3 chapters of in the chapter 5 of the book of Jasher. Civilization. As soon as the Anuna appear, as soon as the Nemesis X object drops them off, all of a sudden, the Anuna appear with weapons, technology, all the medicines, all the ingredients to make things, mercantile, agrarian sciences, herbalism, everything, tools, planting, seeds. They appear with everything, but there's no females among them except for one. It's like a medical doctor, a female doctor, recorded in the historical record later as Ninhursag, but she attained goddess status by the locals, and it's not dissimilar from like 1880s when some 5'6" redhead, porcelain skin Irish doctor would have been around a bunch of people in the Amazon basin who are on average 4'11" to 5'1", and she has medicines and she has all kinds of things that she can make you better, and she's learned your language real fast, real easy, but you can't even understand her language. Yeah, it's cargo cult phenomenon. They turn her into a goddess. So the whole incident of the Watchers giving technology to the pre-flood people was the sons of God came unto the daughters of men and took all which they chose. But the book of Enoch gives more context, and there was an exchange for technology for females. Why? Because the survivors of the cataclysm, or the survivors of the cataclysm who ultimately came from the Nemesis X object. Remember, the Nemesis X object appeared in 3439 BC, which is the exact year of the Gihon flood. The Gihon flood wiped out 1/3 of the human race, according to the book of Jasher. So wherever their civilization was, it took a hit. They were survivors, but they're almost all male. So this is the whole origin of the Daughters of Men scenario. Megan says the sky is artificial, but is the spear shape a ship or something else? Listen, we've got this. You've seen it documented with the Stonehenge deal, and in Nuremberg, 1561, and in 1314, it was also described. It was called the Great Black Comet. It was a period historians call the 7 comets over Europe from I believe it's 1301 to 1314 AD, and it was the 7th comet, and it was the only one described as the Great Black Comet of 1314. Well, that 1314 is precisely on the 792-year periodicity of the Nemesis X object. Nemesis X appeared in 1256. No, I'm sorry, 1254 AD. In 1254 it appeared, and it was here for 60 years. All kinds of hell broke out all over the world from 1254 and the first of the 60 years, and then the 60 years all the way to 1314. And then for 732 years, Nemesis X is gone. It's completely gone. It's gone for the whole rest of the 1300s, the 1400s, the 1500s, the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s, the 1900s, and in 2046, in the 732nd year, it returns. It returns. It's only here for 60 years. In the 60th year just happens to be 2106 AD, the 6,000th year from the great Adam and Eve reset of 3895 BC, and the 7,344th year of the Anuna timeline that began in 5239 BC, which is the Great Pyramid's apothegm, which is the number of Exodus times 3, and because it's the same date, 2106, as the return of the chief cornerstone, then it's also embodies the concept of exodus or departure, and the number of stones or the number of souls is made complete. So it's 2 different concepts merging at the exact same time with 2 different chronological timelines, one spanning back 7,344 years and one spanning back exactly 6,000 years. Total systemic reset. I gotta turn this AC back on. It's hot. I'm getting warm now. Let's see. Jonathan Rogers, can you start live streaming on Underground and call it Tangent TV? Man, surely you jest. So under the previous package, I was going through everything. I can live stream at any time, but I saw that it only allowed me to have 100 participants. But that was the previous package. Last night, I upgraded to premium. I don't know. I have to look into the service features. I don't know what it's going to allow me to do. So it looks like there's a number. If it was 100 on that package, then surely this next one's either 500 or 1,000, which should be enough for Archaics Underground. But that's just for those who can participate live. Once the video's over, it would stay on the platform. Anybody can watch it after that. We have a pretty good deal going with Circle. I'm really surprised. The more I hear from you guys back on Archaics Underground, more ideas for spaces, more ideas to organize the spaces better. It kind of blows my mind that no one else has done this. Why hasn't anybody else in the community done this? Why hasn't Billy Carson done it? Why are y'all still going with the old model of paywall websites? Why? Why don't you buy into a platform? You can't do all this on a website. So I don't know why, man. Why hasn't Gaia done it? I heard they have an app, big deal. I heard their app just spams the shit out of you on a bunch of stuff for sale. I'm not gonna sell you anything here in Archaics Underground. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing, Megan, that once you have, this is one of the takeaways I think that you guys are going to have in Archaics Underground. One of the takeaways, if you take the time, once I'm done uploading all the Vapor Canopy stuff, all the Phoenix stuff, all the Nemesis X stuff, all the Dark Satellite material, the OO parts. I'm not done with the OO parts, out of place artifacts, and I'm not done with Mysterious History. But once these 5 sections, at least, once you really go in there and you see all this and you absorb it, you're going to conclude the exact same thing that I've concluded. Once you understand that calendars confine us, once you understand that the whole entire historical record couldn't have possibly existed, the mathematical symmetry is too perfect. And yet these are the dates. Here's how they're verified. We have plenty of source materials. It all adds up on a calculator, but it can only exist as programming. Only in programming can 2 different diabolically opposed chronologies that conflict still remain synthetic in one timeline. It's the only way. Different ways of measuring the year, different ways of measuring time, and yet everything's still absolutely perfectly synthetic with enough source materials to convince anybody who will look. We have to be in some type of very sophisticated simulation, and a lot of these programs and routines are overlays. So I'm convinced that people will see exactly what I see. You don't have to rely on my passion. You don't have to rely on my erudition. In Archaics Underground, I'm going to give you what I got. I'm just going to give you what I got. I'm laying it all out. Not just in chart form, showing you the chart, showing you the arithmetic, showing you all the evidence, showing you all the source materials. There's nothing more I can do to convince people that, man, you are inside an effing simulation. There's no way around it. None. So, yeah, it's just crazy. So crazy. But, hey, you know what? Warmth through the window, you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be smart. You just have to pay attention to details. That's it. You don't have to be smart. The truth can easily be seen. Truth doesn't even have to defend itself. All you have to do is see it. It's a lie that has to be defended. Yeah, anytime somebody has to go in many different directions in order to answer something very simple, it's because there's a lie in there somewhere. There's some deception in there somewhere. Like tomorrow. Oh, Lewis inspired me to do a fantastic video tomorrow. I'm going to do it for the community. I'm going to show the community this is not Diamond AI, one of the most sophisticated ones. And I'm going to use it, and we're going to question it about the gospel version of Jesus. Is it fact or fiction? We're going to see what Not Diamond has to say. We're going to restrict Not Diamond to yes and no questions, but I'm going to give it the latitude of giving us a one-liner if it thinks it's not a clear no or a clear yes. Give us a one-liner explaining why. I think it's excellent. I want to see exactly what it says based off the questions I'm going to ask it, because I'm going to ask it questions. That's all I'm going to do is ask questions, because I believe in the Socratic method. I believe the Socratic method is probably there's only 2 different methods of analysis that are really employed in Archaics. One of them is questions. And the other one, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You already know, the Sherlock Holmes method. So that's what we're going to do. Franz Boas said it too. If you record enough facts, the answers will fall like ripe fruit. But that's really just the photo negative of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes method, which if you eliminate everything that is impossible, whatever remains, however unbelievable, must be the truth. That's what we do. Two different methods applied in archaics. Three, really, because if something is true somewhere, it's probably true everywhere. We apply that tenet. A fourth tenet we apply is that if something is true, then we're going to be able to see it from multiple different vantage points. Yeah, it's never going to be one source. It's never going to be one source. It's never going to be one. The oversoul would never put us in a man. What are those things called? What are those rooms called that people pay to get locked in, and you've got to find all the clues? Escape room. That's all this is. That's all this is. The oversoul would never actually put you in harm's way. Now, the oversoul is going to put you into a situation that's going to make you believe you're in harm's way, because that's the only way true character development will ever unfold. But you're not in any real danger. You're just not. So the oversoul is not going to put you in an escape room that's not going to have all the tools necessary for you to be able to get out or to figure out anything. There's no way I could have ever uncovered all this historical information, all the stuff that most people had never ever heard of until Archaics exploded onto YouTube. Nobody was really reading my published books. I sold maybe 30 or 40 books a month by people who were just curious on Amazon and people who walked into the book tree in San Diego. Other than that, I wasn't selling many books. Not until I exploded on YouTube. But how in the hell was I able to? I mean, my books are packed with bibliographic citations. How was I able to record so much data that no one had ever put together before? Unless the oversoul put that data in the field to be discovered. It's the only way I can get around it. We're meant to find these things. These aren't accidental revelations. We are meant to figure out the very predicament that we're in and then deal with it. Now, when I'm talking like this, I often think back to like the Tower of Babel. I often think back to the whole story. It's a psyop. It's a veiled threat. The Tower of Babel. Evidently, we are so powerful that there is what is it called in video games? There's a term in video games where you can do something that automatically allows you to defeat the boss, or automatically allows you to take you to a whole other level, gives you a superpower that no one else who normally plays the game even knows about. But that's what it does. The cheat codes, okay, that's what it is. God mode and cheat codes. Cheat codes, what it is. Yeah, so the cheat codes are here. And I think they're a part of the discovery process. I think you're meant to find them, not because you'll use them. I think the cheat codes are here because it's like a part of your journey. If I'm alone in a forest and I have nothing but a shirt, pants, a belt, and boots, I'm gonna be nervous. I don't have a weapon, no way to defend myself. So I pick up a stick, but it's not really going to defend me from anything much. But all of a sudden, I come across a backpack that looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. And I go through the backpack, and there's a 9mm Beretta, and there's 4 bullets in the clip. Now I've got something. Now all of a sudden, it changed my entire perspective. I haven't shot anybody. I don't even need to use it. No one who's observing me would even know that it's tucked in under my shirt behind my pants. And yet it changes my whole outlook about my condition. I think cheat codes are here that allow us to do many incredible things, and that they also add value to the experience by what we choose not to do once we have them. So, also, the story of the Tower of Babel means that there is something that we can do about our condition, or you wouldn't have taken the time to put it in a biblical story as a veiled threat. The gods at the Nemesis X object looking down on humans on the surface, the gods look down and says, behold, the man has become as one of us. And by virtue of his imagination, there is nothing he cannot accomplish. Therefore, they took a vote and they decided to confuse his languages so they could not finish the very project that they started. The Great Pyramid was anciently called the Tower of Seven. Later in Egypt, it was translated as Tower of Syene. It was the pillar that held up the heavens, but it was never finished. The Great Pyramid is the Tower of Babel. The veiled threat is about finishing that structure. You better not finish that structure. So they promoted all this confusion. But in finishing the structure, that's what creates the trap door to open on the escape room. I can't even describe it as any simpler than that. Why introduce a veiled threat into one of the most widely read books in the entire world, the book of Genesis? Why put that veiled threat in there if there wasn't a viable activity that humans could do to pop open the escape hatch on the escape room? Of course there's a way out of here, and it's through technology, and it's always been here. Through every empire, through the rise and fall of kingdoms, through all the life sims we've lived, it's always been right there at 30 degrees north latitude on North African plate in Egypt. It's always been right there. The way home has always been right there, hidden in plain sight. It's never been anywhere else. Yeah, man. There was even I was in prison during the whole time, but you guys remember there was some movies, and they even did a TV series, I believe, where they used the Great Pyramid, showing that a super construction came down from the sky and it used the pyramid as a platform. I was in prison all those times. I was so fascinated by those commercials. I was never able to watch those. And now I got out of prison in 2016. There's so many new shows to watch. I just totally forgot about them until just now. Just totally forgot. Stargate. MC Val. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Stargate. I still need to go watch those. But yeah, the concept has always been known to us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Man, this has been a good talk. Been a good talk. But Krusty, we need to have the head-to-head. I need you to send me an email as soon as you guys are absolutely done and I'm able to download the back histories for the last 6 years of NFL, because as soon as we can do that, I'm going to go live again in Cypher. For anybody who wants to watch, I'm going to actually do the first week, the first 15 games. I'm going to do the first 15 games predictions. I might even go through all 7 tiers, because remember, we're going to do predictions from 7 different vantage points. We have 7 different formulas that we're going to use the software on. I know Jasmine's been putting together a list of volunteers who's going to help with what, but for the first week, I think I'm just going to do a 4 or 5 hour long video. Just going to bite the bullet that day, and I'm just going to go through all 7 myself on the first week to show everybody how to do it. So we're all on the same page. But I think that's I'll probably go ahead and have me some barbecue on the side. I'm going to have some Modelo's out. You guys are just going to have to deal with country boy Jason instead of professional Jason, because if I'm going to be on for 4 or 5 hours doing the NFL predictions, then I'm going to have me something to eat, something to drink, and I'm going to have some commercials on the side, little video clips for when I take my little piss breaks. So I'm going to need 1 or 2. But yeah, we're going to have to go 4 or 5 hours on that, and I'm going to have to go through all 7 tiers of the predictions for each one, just to show people how easy it really is only once we have the NFL back history chart. Once we have the NFL back history chart, everything's going to flow. It's going to flow. Because remember, the hardest part about date sequence predictive analytics is always data entry. It's where human error has always crept in the past, and it's always pissed me off. It really makes me mad when I get 13 out of like 16 games right, because on that week they didn't have a bye week, because this has happened before, and I'll get 13 out of 16 games right, and then come to find out that 2 of those games were only wrong because of human error. Taking my eyes off of a chart to input more data, I put the wrong date in and then ran the software. This has happened multiple times. Human error is a bitch, but it happens. So we're still going to have human error, but at least we've minimized it a lot. But the whole goal, though, is to get through the NFL season and then app it. Once we app it with the necessary RSS feeds, there's no more human error, because the RSS feed will automatically populate the needed data, and we just let the app run its course. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. It's been an awesome chat. That was we went kind of deep on some things I had no intention of talking about at all, but that's what this is for, man. I mean, well, we talk about all kinds of things here in Cypher. So today it just happened to be archaic stuff. That's fine. Cheat codes, yes, absolutely. So this is why I'm also excited that most of you in Cypher are also in Archaics Academy, because you shouldn't rely on my judgment. You should see what I see and then ascertain the value of the data. Does this mean the same thing for you? Because that's my takeaway from all the data, that all this information that I put together in my life. My takeaway is that I'm in some type of sophisticated spiritual simulation, and I'm not even in any danger. And that even 26 years of prison, I thought I was in danger, and I never really was. I never really was. It was all just a rite of passage. The Oversoul saw me through all that. Hell, I've been in more danger since I've been out of prison. Yeah. It's crazy. So crazy. So yeah, man. And it's there are cheat codes here, but they have everything to do with how we respond to external stimuli. If we're in a sophisticated construct that's always trying to induce us to react, then all we have to do is to be aware that reacting is playing the game. And if you play the game, then you are literally in tacit agreement with the rules of the game. That's where they get you. It's a contract-based reality, but you don't have to play. Remember, I tell you all the time, do not engage. That's where your true power is. All these things are designed to increase your agitation, everything, because making you agitated alters your frequency. When you alter your frequency, you alter your world. It literally creates negative phenomena. So one of the greatest cheat codes that we have is do not engage. Don't buy into the patriotic propaganda. Oh man, you're absolutely un-American. You're not going to defend yourself. You're not going to. Do not engage. The Oversoul is not going to put you into a situation unless you are in tacit agreement, meaning you've already engaged in that. Therefore, you're playing by those rules. You can always break pattern and exit. Exit strategy is easy. Break pattern to break away from dungeon programming. But once you're in a tacit agreement scenario in dungeon programming, you're in that feedback loop. You're playing by those rules. It's real hard to be spiritual when you're engaging in something carnal. So you want to better perfect your cheat codes? Do not engage. Something's trying to make you mad? Don't let it anger you. Somebody's trying to goad you into doing this? Don't let it happen. Remember, I just told the story about Billy Carson. He sent all those emails out on me, and I was really just going to take off and all this. I got a file on Billy Carson, all this stuff. I was just going to, you know what? And I got to thinking about it. I said, man, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for the right reasons. And I stood down. And I know I'm a better man for it. And I was probably rewarded by Source for not engaging and not reacting like that. I'm not going to live a reactionary life. I'm telling you, I'm going to choose when I'm a broadcaster, and I'm going to choose when I'm a receiver, and I'm going to do it without allowing the construct to make that choice for me. Yeah, man. All right, I'm just rambling now, guys. I'm just rambling. Just rambling. See the last of my chats. Yeah, Krusty, let me know as soon as y'all are ready. There's no pressure. We still have time. There's no pressure. Don't break your back trying to force an end to the project, because we need those 6 years of NFL wins and loss records to be right. So we don't need anything rushed. Yeah, just don't need it rushed. But when it's done, and I download it and I have it on one of my 3 screens, I'll open up Cypher on one of my screens. I'll open up Cypher Live on one of my screens, and just like that, I can easily, like I said, we're probably going to go 4 or 5 hours, because we're going to get it all done, and y'all are going to see every move that I make in doing these NFL predictions. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to learn, is just actually watching me do it, and you having the exact same tools that I have, which is the Cypher program open on your desktop, and the PDF or the Microsoft Excel, however they got the chart arranged. That's the way we're going to do it. Yeah. Oh, y'all flatter me too much. It's 8 p.m. I'm going to take a break, get away from my computer for about maybe 30 minutes to an hour, go spend some time with my dogs, and then I'm coming right back on, or I'll be on Archaics Underground probably till midnight or 1 o'clock, maybe even 2 o'clock, because I want to fill up all these sections. I need to get a lot of data on there. It's a huge success. I'm so happy that by the end of Sunday, tomorrow, we'll have over 2,000 members. At least that's the trajectory of the arithmetic right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also trying to get the word out. Yes, we have a lot of sections that are for errants, but I had an opportunity to delete a post that I totally disagree with, and I did not do it. I did respond with my displeasure at the same time that I admitted that, you know what, I'm not going to take this down, because you're free to post. You're free to promote the people you like in Archaics Underground. Somebody promoted, what's that dude, man? Jasmine, you know what I'm talking about. You saw the post. Promotes Galactic Federation. I can't remember the guy's name. I don't like him. Real snake oil salesman. Sasha Stone. So, yeah, man. You know what? No, I'm not promoting Sasha Stone, but I'm not going to stop you from doing a comment about him, as long as you're not spamming my group with a whole bunch of Sasha Stone stuff. Yeah, you make a comment about him, you want people to go check it out and say, okay, cool. I don't want Archaics Underground to be so restrictive that other people in other communities don't want to come and engage. I think the alphabetic community would be badass in Archaics Underground. I think Martin Leakey's community would be bad. I think we can start networking with a lot of different people, and it's going to be awesome. And yeah, there's going to be some people wanting to come from Gaia, some people wanting to come from Ancient Aliens. There's going to be some people wanting to come from Forbidden Knowledge, and we shouldn't discourage that. We're just not going to allow them to spam the comments. Say, put your post out there, see if people respond to it. But you're not going to power post. You're not going to post over and over and over, spam all these different things. I'm going to allow the freedom of promoting what you want to promote, but you're not going to spam. Simple as that. Yeah, let the people be judged by their peers. I agree. That's why I did not take down that Sasha Stone post at all. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go. My butt's starting to hurt. You guys are going to see this video pop up. Unslaved, yeah. We're going to be reaching out to Michael Tessarion and David Whitehead. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I don't even want to talk to Michael Tessarion about history. He and I both know history. We can talk about history for weeks. I want to get inside the man's mind. My passions are philosophy and the human philosophical outlook on our condition I'd like to talk to Michael Cesarion about what's going on in the world over. Man, he's in Ireland. Man, let's hear about what this crazy shit that's going on in Ireland. I want to hear from his perspective what's going on. So, yeah, you got me talking again, man. You triggered me. Martin Davis, you just got me to eat crow. I just said that I do not allow other people to put me in a reactive mindset. I just reacted to your unslave. I'm gone, man. You got me.